The year was 2147, and humanity had reached the zenith of its technological prowess. Space exploration had become routine, and colonies thrived on Mars and the moons of Jupiter. Yet Earth remained the heart of human civilization. It was during a routine observational mission that astronomers detected a massive fleet of alien ships heading towards Earth. Dr. Elaine Foster, chief astronomer at the Deep Space Observatory, was the first to notice the anomaly. Her initial excitement quickly turned to dread as the data poured in. The objects were moving too deliberately to be natural phenomena. "Prepare for an emergency broadcast," she instructed her team, her voice steady despite the growing tension. Within hours, the world was informed. News channels flashed urgent bulletins, and social media buzzed with speculation. Panic and excitement gripped the global populace. Governments convened emergency meetings, while scientists and military strategists hurried to assess the situation. At the United Nations headquarters in New York, representatives from around the world gathered for an urgent session. President Rodrigo Sanchez of the United States addressed the assembly, his expression grave. "We face an unprecedented event in human history. Our survival depends on our unity and preparedness," he declared, echoing the sentiments of leaders worldwide. Military forces were placed on high alert. The International Space Defense Coalition, ISDC, an alliance formed in response to previous extraterrestrial encounters, mobilized its fleets. General Takeshi Nakamura, commander of the ISDC, coordinated the deployment of orbital defenses and ground-based missile systems. Satellites were repositioned to monitor the approaching fleet, providing real-time data to command centers. The day the Zaroth fleet arrived, the sky above Earth transformed into a canvas of shimmering light and sound. Alien crafts, sleek and enormous, filled the atmosphere, casting shadows that blotted out the sun. People gathered in the streets, on rooftops, and at windows, staring upwards in a mixture of awe and terror. The sight was both beautiful and horrifying, a testament to the advanced technology of the visitors. In the control room of the ISDC, tension was palpable. General Nakamura stood before a large holographic display, tracking the alien ships as they positioned themselves in strategic locations around the globe. "They're everywhere," murmured Lieutenant Maria Torres, the chief communications officer, her eyes wide with disbelief. The alien ships hovered silently, their presence an unspoken threat. Then, a sudden transmission cut through all frequencies, overriding every broadcast and communication channel. A towering figure, clad in ornate armor and exuding an aura of power, appeared on screens worldwide. This was Krathar, leader of the Zaroth. "People of Earth," Krathar's voice boomed, resonating with a strange hypnotic quality. "We are the Zaroth, masters of the cosmos. Your world now belongs to us. Surrender immediately or face annihilation." Fear gripped the hearts of billions. The ultimatum was clear. The United Nations, convened in an emergency session, deliberated on the response. Diplomatic channels were opened, but the Zaroth's demands were absolute, leaving no room for negotiation. In Washington, President Sanchez addressed the nation, his image broadcast globally. "We will not bow to these invaders," he declared, his voice firm. "Humanity has faced many challenges, and we have always emerged stronger. We will fight for our freedom, for our right to exist." Across the globe, militaries were mobilized. Fighter jets took to the skies, and ground troops prepared for an imminent battle. Advanced weaponry, developed for just such a contingency, was readied. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of fear, determination, and a grim resolve. As humanity braced for war, scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to devise countermeasures against the alien technology. Dr. Foster and her team at the Deep Space Observatory provided crucial data, helping to predict the alien movements and vulnerabilities. In secret laboratories, experimental weapons were tested, pushing the boundaries of human innovation. The first clash occurred over the Pacific Ocean. Zaroth ships unleashed devastating plasma bolts, striking naval fleets and coastal cities. The destruction was immense, but humanity fought back with ferocity. Anti-aircraft batteries lit up the sky, and missile salvos targeted the alien crafts. The battle had begun, marking the start of a conflict that would determine the fate of Earth. The global broadcast from Krathar had thrown Earth into a state of shock. Governments struggled to respond to the alien demand for surrender, and the populace was in turmoil. In the midst of this chaos, a high-stakes meeting was convened at the United Nations headquarters. Inside the Grand Chamber, leaders from every nation gathered, their faces reflecting the gravity of the situation. President Rodrigo Sanchez of the United States took the podium, his presence commanding the room. "We cannot capitulate to these invaders," he said firmly. "We must present a united front. Humanity's survival depends on our solidarity and resolve." Chancellor Ingrid Hoffmann of the European Union spoke next. "We have initiated contact with our international allies and are mobilizing all available resources. This is a fight for our existence, and we will not back down." General Takeshi Nakamura of the ISDC provided a grim assessment. "Our intelligence indicates that the Zoroth possess technology far beyond our current capabilities. However, they are not invincible. Our best chance lies in coordinated defense and strategic counterattacks." As the meeting continued, a consensus emerged. Earth would not surrender. Plans were drafted for a global defense initiative, pooling resources from every nation. The urgency of the situation demanded swift action, and the world's best minds were tasked with developing innovative strategies to combat the alien threat. Meanwhile, the Zoroth remained ominously silent, their ships hovering like dark omens over the major cities of the world. The tension was palpable, as if the entire planet was holding its breath. In Beijing, the People's Republic of China mobilized its vast military resources. Premier Jiang Wei addressed his people with a message of defiance. "We will defend our homeland with every ounce of strength we possess. The Zoroth may have superior technology, but they underestimate the human spirit." In Russia, President Anastasia Ivanov announced a state of total war. "We have faced invaders before and triumphed. This time will be no different. We will use every means at our disposal to protect our motherland." The United Nations' defiant reply to the Zoroth ultimatum sparked a wave of action across the globe. Military forces were on high alert, and defense systems were activated. The International Space Defense Coalition, ISDC, became the nerve center of Earth's resistance, coordinating efforts across continents. In the Pentagon's war room, General Nakamura directed operations with steely precision. "Deploy all orbital defense platforms and ready our ground-based missile systems," he ordered. Satellites were repositioned to track the alien fleet's movements, providing real-time intelligence critical for the defense strategy. At NASA's Johnson Space Center, Dr. Elaine Foster and her team were tasked with analyzing Zoroth technology. "We need to understand their weaponry and propulsion systems if we hope to develop effective countermeasures," she explained to her colleagues. Using data from previous encounters and new observations, they worked around the clock to unlock the secrets of the alien invaders. In underground bunkers and secret labs, scientists and engineers pushed the boundaries of human innovation. Dr. Ahmed Rashid, a leading physicist, led a team developing a new type of energy shield capable of deflecting the Zoroth plasma bolts. "If we can enhance our defense systems, we might be able to withstand their initial onslaught and buy ourselves some time," he said, his determination evident. The response was not just technological, but also psychological. Across the world, governments launched massive propaganda campaigns to boost morale and unite their citizens. In London, Prime Minister Emily Clark addressed the nation in a televised speech. "We stand at the brink of history. Our courage, our ingenuity, and our unity will see us through this dark hour." On the front lines, soldiers prepared for the inevitable clash. Lieutenant Javier Morales, a decorated pilot, was one of many ready to defend Earth. "We've trained for this our whole lives," he told his squadron. "Now it's time to show what we're made of." In cities around the globe, civilians took part in defense drills and emergency preparedness exercises. Volunteers organized to support the war effort, from building shelters to producing supplies. The spirit of resilience and defiance was everywhere. The Zoroth's assault commenced with a fury that shook the foundations of human civilization. At dawn, the first wave of attacks targeted key military installations and major cities. The alien crafts descended from the sky, unleashing devastating plasma bolts and energy beams that obliterated everything in their path. The initial strike was precise and ruthless, designed to cripple Earth's defenses and sow chaos. In the control room of the ISDC, General Nakamura watched the unfolding carnage with a mixture of horror and resolve. "Activate all defense protocols," he commanded. "Launch countermeasures and deploy our fighter squadrons immediately." Across the globe, Earth's military forces sprang into action. Anti-aircraft batteries lit up the skies with a barrage of missiles and laser fire. Fighter jets roared into the air, engaging in dogfights with the alien crafts. Despite their technological inferiority, human pilots demonstrated exceptional bravery and skill, managing to take down several Zaroth ships through sheer tenacity and tactical ingenuity. In Los Angeles, Captain Sarah Mitchell led her squadron into the thick of the battle. "Stay in formation and target their weak points," she instructed over the comms. Her ship weaved through the chaos, firing at the alien crafts with deadly precision. The skies were a maelstrom of explosions and energy beams, each moment a fight for survival. Meanwhile, ground forces engaged in fierce battles as alien soldiers deployed from their crafts, wielding advanced weaponry that vaporized anything in its path. Major John Carter, stationed in New York, rallied his troops. "Hold the line. We will not let them take our city." He led a counterattack, utilizing guerrilla tactics and urban warfare to push back the alien invaders. The streets turned into war zones, with buildings crumbling under the relentless assault. As the battle raged on, Earth's scientists worked frantically to support the military efforts. Dr. Rashid's team managed to deploy the experimental energy shields, providing crucial protection for key installations. In underground bunkers, Dr. Foster continued to analyze alien data, searching for any weakness that could be exploited. "We need more time," she muttered, knowing that every second counted. In the midst of the conflict, reports began to emerge of civilians taking up arms and joining the fight. In Paris, a group of resistance fighters, led by former soldier Camille Durand, launched a surprise attack on a Zaroth outpost. "For our home, for our freedom," she shouted, inspiring those around her to stand and fight. These acts of courage and defiance became symbols of humanity's unyielding spirit. As the battle stretched into its second week, a surprising development unfolded that would change the course of the conflict. During a particularly intense skirmish over the Atlantic Ocean, a small group of alien ships broke formation and approached Earth's forces with an unusual transmission. "We seek to parley," the message stated. "We are not your enemy." In the ISDC control room, General Nakamura and his advisors were skeptical but intrigued. "Could this be a trap?" Lieutenant Torres asked. Nakamura considered the possibility, but decided the potential benefits outweighed the risks. "Open a secure channel," he ordered. "Let's hear what they have to say." The transmission revealed a group of Zaroth defectors, led by Ziara, a high-ranking officer disillusioned with Krathar's reign. Ziara's image appeared on the screen, her alien features conveying both strength and sincerity. "We are part of a resistance within the Zaroth Empire," she explained. "Krathar's tyranny extends beyond your world, and many of us seek to end it. We offer our aid to humanity in exchange for asylum and cooperation." This revelation sent shockwaves through Earth's leadership. President Sanchez and other global leaders quickly convened to discuss the offer. "This could be the turning point we need," said Dr. Foster, who was present via a secure video link. Their knowledge and technology could level the playing field. After intense deliberations, Earth's leaders agreed to the alliance. Ziara and her team were brought to a secure location where they shared crucial intelligence on Zaroth strategies, weaknesses, and advanced technologies. The Ash Catalyst, Ziara revealed, is Krathar's most feared weapon. It can turn entire populations to ashes in seconds, but we believe it can be reversed to target only Zaroth biology. This information was a game changer. Scientists and engineers, now with access to alien technology and insights, began working on modifying the Ash Catalyst. Dr. Rashid and Dr. Foster led the effort, their teams collaborating closely with Ziara's defectors. "This is our chance to turn their own weapon against them," Dr. Foster said, her voice filled with newfound hope. As this secret project progressed, the battle on the front lines continued. The alliance with the Zaroth defectors had immediate effects. With insider knowledge, Earth's forces could anticipate alien tactics and exploit their vulnerabilities more effectively. Coordinated strikes and ambushes began to tip the scales in humanity's favor, showing that the tide of the war could indeed be turned. In a covert operation, Captain Mitchell's squadron, now equipped with enhanced weaponry from Ziara's team, launched a daring raid on a Zaroth supply convoy. The mission was a resounding success, capturing vital resources and disrupting the alien supply chain. "We're hitting them where it hurts," Mitchell reported. "This alliance is giving us the edge we needed." The unexpected allies from within the Zaroth ranks had breathed new life into humanity's resistance. The war was far from over, but the hope that had once seemed distant was now within reach. As scientists raced to perfect the modified ash catalyst, the world watched and waited, ready to fight for every inch of their planet. In a hidden underground facility deep within the Rocky Mountains, the modified ash catalyst project was underway. The lab buzzed with activity as human scientists and Zaroth defectors worked side by side. The alien technology, combined with human ingenuity, created a synergy that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Dr. Ahmed Rashid and Dr. Elaine Foster led the human team, while Ziara and her top engineers provided critical insights. The original ash catalyst, a fearsome weapon capable of turning entire populations to ashes, was studied intensely. "We need to understand every aspect of its functionality," Dr. Rashid explained, "so we can reverse its effects to target the Zaroth exclusively." Ziara showed them the core components of the catalyst, a complex array of energy converters and biological targeting systems. "The key lies in its targeting matrix," she said, pointing to a holographic representation of the device. "If we can recalibrate it to recognize only Zaroth DNA, we can turn their own weapon against them." Weeks turned into months as the team worked tirelessly, facing numerous setbacks and breakthroughs. One night, Dr. Foster had a breakthrough idea. "What if we integrate our quantum computing technology to enhance the targeting precision?" she suggested. The team quickly began to incorporate this new approach, hoping it would be the missing piece they needed. As the modified catalyst took shape, the urgency of their mission weighed heavily on everyone. Reports from the front lines indicated that the Zaroth were preparing a massive offensive, one that could potentially overwhelm Earth's defenses. The pressure to complete the weapon in time was immense. Finally, after countless hours of work and numerous tests, the modified ash catalyst was ready for a field test. The team had developed a prototype that, in theory, would turn Zaroth soldiers to ashes while leaving humans unharmed. "It's time to see if our efforts will pay off," Dr. Rashid said, his voice filled with both hope and apprehension. A test site was chosen in a remote desert area. A controlled environment was set up with captured Zaroth drones serving as targets. The team watched with bated breath as the device was activated. A pulse of energy radiated outwards, and the Zaroth drones disintegrated into ashes almost instantly, while the surrounding environment remained untouched. "It works," Ziara said, her voice tinged with relief and triumph. "We have a weapon that can turn the tide of this war." A highly specialized team was assembled for this critical mission. Among them were Captain Sarah Mitchell, known for her exceptional piloting skills, Dr. Rashid, whose expertise was crucial for the operation, and Ziara, whose intimate knowledge of the Zaroth mothership would guide them through the complex alien vessel. The infiltration plan was meticulously detailed. The team would be transported aboard a stealth spacecraft, utilizing cloaking technology to bypass Zaroth defenses. Their objective was to reach the heart of the mothership, where the original ash catalyst was housed, and install the modified version. "Every second counts," General Nakamura emphasized during the final briefing. "Our success depends on speed and precision." As the team prepared for departure, the atmosphere was tense. They knew the risks were immense, and failure could spell doom for Earth. "We've trained for this," Captain Mitchell said. trying to instill confidence in her team. "Stick to the plan, trust each other, and we'll make it through." The stealth spacecraft launched under the cover of night, slipping through the Zaroth blockade undetected. Inside the vessel, the team monitored their approach, every sensor and instrument calibrated to detect any threat. Ziara provided real-time updates on the mothership's internal layout, guiding them to the least guarded entry point. Upon breaching the mothership's hull, the team moved quickly, navigating through the labyrinthine corridors with practiced efficiency. Alien patrols were evaded using advanced cloaking devices and silent takedowns. The journey to the core was fraught with danger, but their resolve remained unshaken. As they neared the central chamber where the original ash catalyst was stored, an unexpected obstacle arose. The chamber was heavily guarded, with Zaroth elites stationed at every entrance. "We need a distraction," Dr. Rashid whispered. "Something to draw them away, even if only for a moment." Ziara volunteered to create the diversion. "I'll lead them on a chase through the upper levels. It should give you enough time to complete the installation." Despite the team's protests, Ziara insisted, "This is our best chance. You need to succeed." With a final nod, Ziara disappeared into the shadows, initiating a series of controlled explosions that sent the Zaroth guards scrambling. Seizing the opportunity, Captain Mitchell and Dr. Rashid rushed into the central chamber. The original ash catalyst loomed before them, a menacing piece of technology pulsating with dark energy. Working quickly, Dr. Rashid began the process of integrating the modified device. Alarms blared, indicating the Zaroth were regrouping and converging on their location. "Almost there," Rashid muttered, hands moving with practiced precision. Just as the Zaroth guards burst into the chamber, the modified ash catalyst was activated. A blinding pulse of energy erupted from the device, sweeping through the mothership and beyond. Zaroth soldiers were turned to ashes in an instant, their bodies disintegrating into nothingness. The mission had succeeded, but not without cost. Ziara, who had bought them the crucial time needed, was nowhere to be found. The team, now racing against the clock, made their way back to the stealth spacecraft, escaping the collapsing mothership as the modified ash catalyst did its work. The team departed from a covert airbase under the cover of night, aboard the stealth spacecraft dubbed the Nighthawk. Equipped with the latest in cloaking technology, the Nighthawk's mission was to penetrate the Zaroth defenses and deliver the modified ash catalyst to the heart of the alien mothership. As the spacecraft ascended into the upper atmosphere, the team made final preparations. Dr. Rashid secured the ash catalyst, ensuring its stability during the journey. Ziara provided real-time tactical guidance, her knowledge of the mothership's layout proving crucial. "We'll enter through an auxiliary vent near the rear of the ship," she explained, pointing to a holographic blueprint. "It's less guarded and leads directly to the central chamber." The Nighthawk approached the Zaroth mothership, a behemoth of alien engineering looming ominously against the backdrop of space. The tension in the cabin was palpable as the ship slipped through the enemy's perimeter, undetected thanks to its advanced cloaking. Upon breaching the hull, the team donned their combat suits and prepared for the insertion. The interior of the mothership was a labyrinth of alien architecture, illuminated by an eerie bioluminescent glow. Moving swiftly and silently, the team navigated the narrow corridors, avoiding patrols and automated defenses. As they made their way deeper into the mothership, they encountered their first major obstacle, a security checkpoint guarded by elite Zaroth soldiers. Ziara suggested a diversion. "I can create a distraction using the ship's maintenance system. It should draw them away long enough for you to get through." Ziara accessed a nearby control panel, initiating a series of malfunctions that caused lights to flicker and alarms to blare. The guards rushed to investigate, leaving the checkpoint momentarily unmanned. The team seized the opportunity, slipping past the defenses and continuing toward the central chamber. Their journey was fraught with peril. They encountered several more patrols and security systems, each requiring quick thinking and coordinated action to bypass. Captain Mitchell's leadership and Ziara's intimate knowledge of the ship were instrumental in their progress. Finally, they reached the core of the mothership, a vast chamber housing the original ash catalyst. The device stood at the center, a menacing construct of alien technology pulsing with dark energy. The team spread out, securing the area, while Dr. Rashid and Ziara approached the device. Dr. Rashid began the delicate process of integrating the modified catalyst. Time was of the essence, and the tension was high. "This will take a few minutes," he said, hands moving with precision. "We need to hold this position." The central chamber echoed with the sounds of distant footsteps and alien commands as the Zaroth forces closed in. Captain Mitchell, Ziara, and the rest of the team fortified their position, preparing for the inevitable clash. "We hold the line here," Mitchell ordered, her voice steely. "No matter what, we give Dr. Rashid the time he needs." The first wave of Zaroth soldiers burst into the chamber, weapons blazing. The team responded with coordinated precision, their advanced training and superior tactics making up for the Zaroth's technological advantage. Plasma bolts and energy blasts crisscrossed the chamber, illuminating the frantic battle. Ziara, wielding a hybrid weapon combining human and Zaroth technology, fought alongside the human soldiers, her intimate knowledge of the enemy's tactics giving them an edge. "Focus on their flank," she shouted, directing fire to a weak point in the Zaroth formation. As the battle raged, Dr. Rashid worked feverishly on the ash catalyst. The device's alien interface was complex, but his modifications were progressing. "Almost there," he muttered, sweat beading on his forehead. "Just a few more adjustments." The second wave of Zaroth reinforcements arrived, more heavily armed and determined to reclaim the chamber. The team's defensive perimeter began to buckle under the pressure. Lieutenant Javier Morales, a seasoned soldier, took command of the rear guard, orchestrating a series of tactical maneuvers to hold the enemy at bay. Despite their efforts, the Zaroth were relentless. Captain Mitchell realized they needed a more drastic measure to secure their position. "Ziara, can we trigger a localized EMP to disable their weapons temporarily?" she asked, firing at an advancing alien. Ziara nodded. "I can rig one of their own devices to create a short-range EMP burst. It'll give us a brief window." She quickly set to work, using components from fallen Zaroth soldiers. Moments later, a pulse radiated through the chamber, and the alien weapons flickered and died. Seizing the moment, the team launched a counteroffensive, pushing the disoriented Zaroth soldiers back and securing the chamber once again. The temporary reprieve allowed Dr. Rashid to complete the final adjustments. "It's ready," he exclaimed, securing the modified catalyst into place. The team quickly regrouped around the device as Dr. Rashid activated it. A low hum filled the chamber, rising to a crescendo as the catalyst powered up. The modified energy pulse radiated outwards, spreading through the mothership like a shockwave. Zaroth soldiers caught in the wave disintegrated into ashes instantly, their bodies vaporized by the recalibrated targeting matrix. As the pulse expanded, it triggered a chain reaction within the mothership systems. Alarms blared louder, and the ship's structural integrity began to falter. "We need to get out of here. Now!" Mitchell shouted, signaling the retreat. The team sprinted through the collapsing corridors, dodging debris and fallen enemies. The Nighthawk, guided remotely by the mission's support team, approached for extraction. The escape was harrowing, with the ship's structure failing around them and enemy forces still in pursuit. Just as it seemed they might not make it, the Nighthawk appeared, its ramp opening to receive them. One by one, the team boarded the craft, Mitchell and Ziara covering the rear. As the last of the team was safely aboard, the Nighthawk lifted off, speeding away from the disintegrating mothership. The escape from the Zaroth mothership had been harrowing, but the team's mission was far from over. As the Nighthawk sped away, the crew took a moment to assess their situation. Captain Mitchell, bruised and exhausted, reviewed their status with the remaining team members. Dr. Rashid, despite his fatigue, was already analyzing data from the catalyst deployment. "We've crippled their primary vessel," he said, pointing to the holographic display showing the mothership's remains. "But the Zaroth fleet is vast. We need to strike at their command structure to deliver a decisive blow." Ziara, despite her weariness, agreed. "Krathar will not take this lightly. He'll consolidate his forces and retaliate swiftly. We must disrupt their chain of command before they can regroup. General Nakamura, back at the ISDC Command Center, provided strategic directives via secure transmission. Your next target is the Zarath flagship, where Krathar himself is likely to be. We've pinpointed its location based on the mothership's telemetry. The Nighthawk, now outfitted with additional weaponry and reinforced shielding, set course for the Zarath flagship. The journey through space was tense, the crew knowing they were headed into the lion's den. The flagship, a fortress of alien might, loomed ahead, surrounded by smaller escort ships. As they approached, Ziara provided critical insights into the flagship's defenses. The Central Command Center is heavily fortified, but if we can breach their security systems, we can plant the modified catalyst at the core. The team prepared for insertion. Captain Mitchell addressed her squad with steely determination. We have one shot at this. Stick to the plan, and we'll make it out alive. The Nighthawk's cloaking technology allowed them to slip past the outer defenses. Docking at a hidden maintenance hatch, the team disembarked and infiltrated the ship. The flagship's interior was a stark contrast to the mothership, with sleek corridors and high-tech security systems. As they moved deeper into the vessel, they encountered minimal resistance, thanks to Ziara's intimate knowledge of the ship's layout. However, their progress was halted by a formidable security gate. Ziara accessed a nearby terminal, her fingers moving deftly over the alien interface. "Give me a moment," she said, hacking into the security network. Seconds felt like hours as she worked. Finally, the gate opened, revealing the path to the command center. The team moved swiftly, knowing their window of opportunity was shrinking. The closer they got, the more resistance they encountered. Zarath soldiers, alerted to their presence, engaged them in fierce combat. Captain Mitchell led the charge, her tactical acumen and combat skills keeping the team one step ahead. Dr. Rashid stayed close, protecting the modified catalyst and ensuring it remained intact. The corridors echoed with the sounds of battle, each confrontation a test of their resolve and skill. As they reached the central command chamber, they faced their toughest challenge yet: Krathar's elite guard. These soldiers were heavily armed and trained, posing a significant threat. The ensuing battle was brutal, with both sides taking heavy casualties. Captain Mitchell and Ziara fought side by side, their movements synchronized in a deadly dance of survival. Finally, they breached the command chamber. Krathar himself stood at the center, a towering figure exuding power and menace. "You dare to challenge me in my own domain?" he roared, his voice filled with rage. "We dare," Mitchell responded, firing a volley at the alien leader. The team engaged Krathar and his remaining guards, the battle fierce and unforgiving. Dr. Rashid, meanwhile, moved to the central console, working to deploy the modified catalyst. Krathar fought with a ferocity that tested the team's limits, but their determination held firm. Mitchell managed to land a critical blow, momentarily incapacitating him. "Now, Rashid," she shouted. Dr. Rashid activated the catalyst, sending a pulse through the flagship. The modified energy spread rapidly, disintegrating Zarath soldiers within seconds. Krathar, weakened but not defeated, roared in defiance as the energy enveloped him. With the catalyst deployed, the team made their escape, retracing their steps through the chaos. The Nighthawk awaited them, engines primed for a quick departure. They boarded the ship just as the flagship began to crumble, the energy pulse wreaking havoc on its structure. The destruction of the Zarath flagship marked a turning point in the conflict, but it came at a high cost. The team, having barely escaped with their lives, returned to Earth to regroup and plan their next move. The war had taken a toll on everyone, and the cracks in their resolve began to show. Back at the ISDC Command Center, General Nakamura praised their efforts, but reminded them of the challenges ahead. Krathar's death will cause chaos among the Zarath ranks, but they are still a formidable enemy. We must capitalize on this moment and push forward. However, not everyone shared the same vision for the future. During a critical strategy meeting, tensions flared. Lieutenant Javier Morales, one of the mission's heroes, revealed himself to be a double agent. "You fools," he sneered, pulling a concealed weapon. "The Zarath promised me power and protection. Your resistance is futile. The room erupted into chaos as Morales fired, wounding several key personnel. Captain Mitchell, quick to react, tackled Morales, disarming him after a brutal struggle. "You betrayed us," she shouted, the pain of betrayal evident in her eyes. Morales, now restrained, continued to mock them. "You think you've won, but the Zaroth have contingency plans. They will regroup and crush you." The revelation of Morales's betrayal sent shockwaves through the ranks. Trust was shattered, and the team's unity was shaken. As they dealt with the aftermath, a new threat emerged. A massive Zaroth fleet was detected heading towards Earth, far larger than any previous force. Dr. Rashid and Dr. Foster, recovering from their injuries, analyzed the incoming fleet. "They're mobilizing everything they have left," Foster said grimly. "This is their final push. If we don't stop them now, it's over." Realizing the gravity of the situation, the ISDC formulated a desperate plan. They would use the modified ash catalyst one more time, but this time it would be a sacrificial move. The catalyst would be delivered to the heart of the Exaroth fleet, using a prototype ship equipped with a one-way teleportation device. Captain Mitchell volunteered for the mission, knowing it would likely be her last. "We can't ask anyone else to do this," she said, her voice steady, despite the enormity of the task. "I'll see it through." As preparations were made, the team gathered for a final briefing. General Nakamura spoke with a somber tone. "This mission is our last hope. Captain Mitchell, your courage and sacrifice will be remembered by all of humanity." The prototype ship, loaded with the modified catalyst, launched into space. Using the teleportation device, Mitchell and the ship were transported directly into the heart of the Zaroth fleet. The fleet, caught off guard by the sudden appearance, scrambled to respond. Inside the ship, Mitchell activated the catalyst, sending a final message to Earth. "This is for all of us, for Earth, for our future." The energy pulse erupted, spreading through the Zaroth fleet with devastating effect. Back on Earth, the ISDC command center watched as the fleet began to disintegrate, their monitors displaying the destruction in real time. The Zaroth ships turned to ashes, their invasion force crumbling before their eyes. Captain Mitchell's sacrifice had delivered a decisive blow, but it had also taken one of their best. The victory was bittersweet, a reminder of the cost of war and the bravery of those who fought for humanity's survival. In the aftermath of the fleet's destruction, the ISDC and Allied forces launched a series of coordinated offensives against remaining Zaroth strongholds. With their command structure in disarray and their fleet decimated, the Zaroth forces were significantly weakened, making them more vulnerable to targeted strikes. General Nakamura addressed the global coalition in a broadcast. "The time to reclaim our planet is now. We have struck a significant blow, but the fight is not over. We must push forward and eliminate the Zaroth presence from Earth entirely." Across the globe, military units executed precision attacks on Zaroth installations. In North America, Major John Carter led a combined arms assault on a Zaroth base in the Nevada desert. Utilizing advanced drones and exosuits, his forces overwhelmed the alien defenders. "For Captain Mitchell," Carter shouted, rallying his troops as they stormed the facility. In Europe, Chancellor Ingrid Hoffmann coordinated a multinational task force to liberate cities still under Zaroth control. The battle for Berlin was fierce, with human forces employing both conventional and guerrilla tactics to dismantle the alien occupation. "This is our city," Hoffmann declared, "and we will not let it fall." Simultaneously, Dr. Elaine Foster and Dr. Ahmed Rashid continued their work to refine and enhance Earth's defensive capabilities. Utilizing the technology and knowledge gained from the Zaroth, they developed new energy shields and weapon systems, ensuring that humanity would never again be caught unprepared. In Asia, Premier Jiang Wei directed a massive offensive to retake Shanghai, a key strategic location held by the Zaroth. The operation was a testament to human resilience and ingenuity, combining cyber warfare with traditional combat to disable alien defenses and reclaim the city. "We fight not just for our land, but for the future of all mankind," Jiang proclaimed. The combined efforts of Earth's forces began to pay off. Zaroth strongholds fell one by one, their forces either retreating or being eradicated. The global network of resistance movements also played a crucial role, conducting sabotage missions and gathering intelligence that proved invaluable to the military campaigns. With the Zaroth forces in full retreat and their strongholds falling, Earth celebrated a hard-won victory. The global coalition, led by the ISDC, continued to mop up the remaining pockets of resistance. However, the joy of victory was tempered by the somber reality of the war's toll. In a grand ceremony held at the United Nations headquarters, leaders from around the world gathered to commemorate the end of the Zaroth invasion and to honor those who had sacrificed their lives. President Rodrigo Sanchez of the United States addressed the assembly. "Today we celebrate our victory and honor the heroes who made it possible. Their bravery and sacrifice have ensured the survival of our species." Monuments were erected in major cities to commemorate the fallen. In New York, a statue of Captain Sarah Mitchell stood tall, symbolizing the courage and determination of all who had fought. "Her sacrifice will never be forgotten," General Nakamura said during the dedication. "She represents the best of us, and her legacy will inspire future generations." As the world began to rebuild, the scars of the war were evident. Cities lay in ruins, and millions mourned the loss of loved ones. Efforts to provide aid and reconstruction were prioritized, with countries pooling resources to rebuild infrastructure and support displaced populations. In the ruins of Berlin, Chancellor Hoffmann led a multinational task force in rebuilding efforts. "Our resilience is our strength," she stated, overseeing the reconstruction of critical facilities. "Together, we will restore what was lost and build a brighter future." In Asia, Premier Jiang Wei focused on restoring vital services and infrastructure. "We will emerge stronger from this ordeal," he said, coordinating efforts to rebuild cities and support survivors. The collective spirit of unity and cooperation was evident as communities worked together to heal and move forward. Dr. Elaine Foster and Dr. Ahmed Rashid, now hailed as heroes for their contributions to the war effort, continued their research, ensuring that Earth would remain vigilant and prepared for any future threats. "We have learned much from this conflict," Dr. Foster remarked. "Our technological advancements will not only protect us, but also propel humanity into a new era of exploration and discovery." Amidst the rebuilding, a new alliance was formed. The Earth Defense Coalition, EDC, a permanent international organization, was established to coordinate global defense efforts and foster cooperation among nations. "We stand united, stronger than ever," General Nakamura declared at the inaugural meeting. "Together, we will safeguard our future." As the world healed and rebuilt, the memory of the Zaroth invasion served as a powerful reminder of the importance of unity and resilience. The sacrifices made by countless individuals ensured that humanity would continue to thrive, their legacy etched into the fabric of history. In the quiet moments of reflection, people around the world remembered the heroes who had fought and fallen. Their stories were told and retold, becoming legends that would inspire generations to come. The victory over the Zaroth was not just a military triumph, but a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity.